Yes, thank you so much, Desiree. You know, it's been quite a very quiet morning here on the grounds of Wits University. Just to give you an idea of how tense the situation is, you'll recall that over the past couple of days, Wits management had said that they would be very strict with giving access to the media. So as we made our way to the university campus at the Matrix Hall on the second floor at the SRC boardroom, where the press conference is expected to take place in a short while, we really struggled to get access to the campus because security said they had to first verify that we are actually media. And what Wits is saying, what Wits management is saying, is that there are forces, outside forces, or certain people masquerading as media people to come onto the campus and to incite further violence. So the issue of security, the issue of access of media on Wits campus again becomes a question, again is a problem. Nonetheless, the SRC is expected to hold their press conference in a short while, but it does seem as though the Wits Fees Must Fall protest movement has received a bit of a dampener with the suspension of the 5 students as well as the suspension of the SRC president. What this means is that it's left a void in the leadership of the current SRC here at Wits, and that means that students are now left without a leader and without a way forward to address the concerns that they had initially raised. And we know that in this press conference that's expected to come up here, the SRC is going to be raising the issue of what then happens in terms of the technicalities of either reinstating, getting the current president reinstated, or either choosing a new president. They're also going to talk about the issue of the problems that they've had with communication with the Vice-Chancellor Zeblon Vilakazi, as well as what the way forward is with their protest. Their spirits have been dampened, but they say that the fire hasn't been put out for now, Desiree.
That meeting you're talking about, the SRC meeting that's coming up, where is it going to be held, and do we know if the suspended students will be in attendance?
Well, we did see yesterday the visuals that came out in the afternoon that the suspended SRC president was on campus grounds. It's still unclear right now what's expected to happen with the SRC president, and if they have heightened security measures to make sure that he doesn't arrive here at the SRC boardroom at what they call their matrix, which is sort of like a cafeteria for the students. So as we're speaking to you right now, the SRC president who has been suspended is not here yet, and it's still unclear whether or not he will arrive during the course of the press conference or as the press conference gets underway. So it is quite a very difficult situation. We do know that some civil organization bodies have also weighed in. We know that the Human Rights Commission released a statement just this morning saying that they are concerned that the SRC president has been suspended and calling for Wits itself to unsuspend the president and the 5 students so that there can be open dialogue between the university and between the students. While, Sharona Patel from Wits yesterday said that it is their prerogative as a Wits management to ensure the security of the rest of the students here at Wits and to ensure that teaching and learning does continue, she did say that they're not going to allow students that have been seen to be causing disruptions, of whom they have evidence of having caused disruption and chaos on the student ground. So it is a very tricky situation. The sentiment on the ground right now is very tense, and we are definitely getting more and more calls from civil society organizations saying, where's the Minister of Higher Education? Why is the Minister of Higher Education not on the student grounds, not having conversations with the students, not facilitating conversations between the students as well as the SRC? And we're getting the sense that people are frustrated by Minister Blade Nzimande's slow response to the issue at hand, by NSFAS's slow response to the issue at hand, it does seem at the moment as though it is now, this issue has now been left to the universities themselves to deal with. And we know that Sharona Patel said when she spoke to the SABC that higher education needs to also come to the party and take an effective leadership role in this case and lead the charge between the SRC, between the protesting students, as well as the universities to find an amicable solution. She said Wits can only do what they can financially to help the students, but the issues that they're raising about scrapping the 10,000 rands deposit fee for student accommodation is a NSFAS issue. It's a higher education issue. In February, early in February this year, we know that the Minister of Higher Education went in front of the nation and he said that there was amount of money, a huge amount of money that had been set aside to assist students with historic debt, to assist students from the missing middle, and to assist those students that are needing financial assistance with paying the universities and paying the university fees. But since then he has been very quiet and we haven't heard anything else from him. And what bodies such as the Human Rights Commission are calling for, they're calling for the Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Blade Nzimande, as well as senior management of NSFAS to take the lead, take charge, and really get in there, speak to the students, speak to the universities, and try and find an amicable solution to this protest that the students have been embarking on for the past couple of days, and find tangible solutions and the way forward that will be able to allow the students and the universities to resume with normal teaching and education in the university sector.
Nozintombi, you're speaking about Dr. Blade Nzimande being MIA, but the other concern is the Vice-Chancellor, Zebulon Vilakazi. Has he addressed the students yet? Is there any intention on his part to do so?
You know, one of the biggest issues around that is that just this weekend, a group of about 200 students went to the Vice-Chancellor's house on Sunday evening, threatening to burn his house, demanding he comes out and he speaks to them. And, you know, the big question that the Human Rights Commission is raising is that the students have a right to protest, to have a peaceful protest, to raise the issues. However, the line has to be drawn when violence starts erupting, when intimidation starts erupting, when students go to the Vice-Chancellor's house and threaten to burn him. So it is a very tricky situation for him to come down and speak to the students with tensions as heightened as they are. However, it does seem to be a break away from how the normal Wits vice-chancellors do conduct business. Wits is a historic institution that is known for its groundbreaking work when it comes to movements of change for higher education. And the way that Wits has usually dealt with these issues has been to have sit-down conversations with the students, sit-down conversations with the SRC to find a solution where they can find themselves in the middle. And it does seem right now that the current Vice-Chancellor, Zebulon Vilakazi, is breaking from the norm and breaking from tradition, and that is heightening tensions because it does seem on all sides of the party there is no movement to move forward. They are currently at an impasse and nobody wants to move forward and nobody wants to meet in the middle to try and find a resolution. It is absolutely heartbreaking for those students that don't have access to money and don't have access to funding, for them not to be able to get access to university and not have their fees paid. So it is imperative, it is absolutely imperative that as the situation is at an impasse right now, that the Vice-Chancellor, Zebulon Vilakazi, the Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Blade Nzimande, as well as the students and the SRC movements, not just at Wits, but we also know that at UP there's also protesting happening. They all need to come to the party, sit down, have roundtable talks, discuss all the issues, fine-tune all the issues, and come up with tangible solutions to ensure that the students who are coming here and are crying for assistance and are needing assistance, financial assistance, that they themselves will be able to get access to that. And Desiree, I'm getting a signal here from the SRC, one of the SRC here at Wits, that they're about to start their press briefing in the next 5 minutes. So what we'll do is we're going to hand back to you, and we're going to set up inside so that we can give you access to the press conference so you can hear from the students what their way forward is. Desiree.